What up, YouTube? It's your boy Daniel Llanos, back again, your favorite sports aficionado. Back in the car again, because honestly, that's where I feel the most comfortable. I mean, in the room is fine, but you never know who's going to be in the house at the moment. When you're living with others, it's just, you never know what can happen. So, yeah, I just prefer the peace and quiet, because I know the car is the most peaceful and the most opportune time for me to record a video to my liking. Aside from that, and I got rid of the snow that was there yesterday. It snowed again from where I'm from, so kind of happy about that. Not a fan of it. It's snowing a lot. I saw for the weather tomorrow, it's supposed to snow in my area again tomorrow. Not only that, but it's gonna snow a lot of these days for this week from where I'm from. So these past couple years we've been blessed. Now that we're at homes, it's like winter storms are coming. Not the biggest fan, but speaking about not being the biggest fan, but you got to tip off your hats to somebody. Completely wrong about what happened in the Super Bowl. I mean, a lot of people were wrong, because I didn't think it would be a blowout. I thought the game would be competitive. I could see why people would pick Brady, because you don't like bet against Brady. Honestly, I just went with the new generation, because I thought they were the better team. But be that as it may, it really comes down to who's the hottest team at this point and who's making the least amount of mistakes. So yeah, last night, the Patriots, I say the Patriots, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl for the second time, their first since '02. So, and wow, Brady wins number 7. I'm shocked. Gronk gets another ring. AB finally gets a ring. Arians finally gets a ring. I think he could have won one as a coordinator somewhere else. I just don't know where. Who am I forgetting? JPP, I think, gets a second ring. Ironically, 10 years later, he beat Brady in 2011, and now he got one with Brady 10 years later. Kind of ironic. Yeah, I just went with where my mind was. I had faith. There was such an interesting stat that Tony Romo said. This dude has never got Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City in general. Ever since he's been there, these past 3 years, he has never gotten blown out. And I mean, he's never gotten blown out. Dude always manages to keep it competitive, and either that or he just wins. So I was visibly shocked. They were, honestly, a lot of people are going to give Brady his flowers, which they should, because he goes there, they're a 7-9 team, they win. Belichick tries to be done with him. Like, big picture wise, he gets the biggest dub. Dude is a GOAT. It's like, dude is already goated, but if there was any like thing to bury the hatch, this would probably be it. Winning number 7-3, been to 10. Beating the heir apparent. May not be I'll say this again. Brady may not be the most talented, but he makes the least amount of mistakes. And when you need a win, or you need a drive, or you need to get something, he delivers it for you. This dude is the ultimate. He's the consummate pro in whatever you need him to do. He's a killer, man. Honestly, it looked like I was watching an old Patriot game, because usually Arians usually does like deep balls, but they were doing screen passes, running the ball, play action, intermediate routes. It was literally a flashback to what he did in New England for this one game, because for the most part, Brady's been following what Arians has done. I mean, they've been mixing it in like when they got hot, ever since they went from 7-5 to like winning the Super Bowl, winning their last 4-4, their last 8 games. The last 8 games, the last 4 games in the regular season, and then these 4 games in the playoffs. And yeah, dude just did it. He had a great first half, super efficient. I mean, he's not gonna have the greatest amount of yards, but the way that defense was playing, oh my gosh, they made Patrick Mahomes look bad. By his standards, honestly, even though, see, I can't even say it's bad because the defense played so well. So by Patrick's standards, early in the game he had opportunities like that McCole Hardman pass in like the first or second drive where they had busted coverage. He overthrew him and that would have been a touchdown. Who knows what could have happened then? Maybe momentum would have been with them, but the way that defense was playing, man, that was an elite performance. The way I saw that, it was similar to like the what's a good comparison? It was similar to the Seahawks Broncos Super Bowl where Peyton had all these records and all that, MVP, all that, gets to the Super Bowl in MetLife and gets completely obliterated against the Legion of Boom. And Russ had a great game. That's literally, I think, if I check the stats, Brady and Russ might actually almost have the same stats. I could be wrong though. I think the final score to that game was like 43-8, and this one was 31-9. So pretty similar in that aspect. More of a blowout in the other one, but it felt like it. Only difference is that Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it was still a bad loss, but towards the second half, I felt like he played better. But he was such under duress. Dude would be making these incompletions in these throws, but he was hanging on for dear life. Honestly, if they had got a couple of those miracle plays, this game probably might have been competitive, but it wasn't meant to be. Dude had no protection. Shaq Barrett and JPP Ndamukong Suh Vita Vea had a field day yesterday. Mahomes threw 2 picks. I mean, at that point, he was kind of forcing it. It's pretty inefficient as well. He got empty calorie yards, but man, when Eric Fisher went down, that hurt because that front four was nasty last night. And lo and behold, they did what I said they did. Literally, they were able to do it. Pressure him with 4 and then double those 2. And he could not get it to the other receivers because the other receivers couldn't get open. That secondary played really well. They doubled Tyreek and they were super physical with Kelsey, and he wasn't really having it. A couple receivers had bad nights. There was a drop by Tyreek, drop by Kelsey. Hardman didn't turn around for one of those plays in the earlier drives, although it was a risky throw. And I felt like by design, I felt like he was afraid to go to. I feel like Travis was there in the first half. I felt like he just didn't trust him because of the drops. I feel like he kept going to the others too much. Not only that, one thing I noticed is that they were effective with the run, but since they were getting blown out, they couldn't do anything. Not only that, so many things did not go their way. A lot of the credit, I mean, definitely in terms of like culture and like leading them and like having some stats, the credit should go to Brady. If I want to like chalk it up in terms of percentage, I would say like 30%. I mean, the season as a whole, you could give a lot of the lion's share of the credit to him, but for that Super Bowl win, this is a great team win, bro. That's like 20 to 30% I'd give to Brady, or maybe 35. Another 15 to 20 to the running game, and then like the rest of it could go to the defense and Todd Bowles, man. Not only that, but one aspect that I haven't touched upon besides that, Kansas City going away from the run way too early, because that's one way to like beat like cover too. When they're doubling your 2 best weapons, run the football, man. That's like what it calls for. I know you have to like mix in the other guys, but you can mix in the other guys by establishing the run game. After that, they can't do cover. They can't double them anymore. Not only that, but in the first half, it could have been 14-6 heading into halftime, and who knows what could have happened then. It would have been a competitive game. I think it could have been. But the stupid penalties, they were so stupid. They had 10 penalties for 130 yards. So it was careless. So careless. Literally, their defense stopped them. They had a goal line stand, so honestly, it could have been 39 today. So not only that, but there were a couple bad flags here and there, but for the most part, Kansas City was shooting themselves in the foot. That offside penalty, as infinitesimal as it may be, or infinitesimal, however you want to I hope I got the pronunciation right. However small the margin was, my dude Hamilton was offside. Dude, you got to line up correctly. And it was you kept him to a field goal. It could be 3-10. It could have been 3-10. No, it turns into 14-6. It turns into 14-3. It could have been 10-3. It turns into 14-3. They answered back with a field goal, so it's 14-6. One possession game with a 2-point conversion. It becomes a one possession game, and they tie the game. But no, they were greedy. Andy Reid was so greedy. They were calling timeouts, thinking they could get quick 3 and out, get a field goal right before half, and be 14-9, and then they get the ball to start the second half. Or they can like drive it and somehow make it 13-14. That's what I think they were trying to do, but it went into Brady's hands because they were able to get the first down after that. Threw a deep ball, got a flag. Rashawn Breeland, I mean, it's unfortunate, but incidental contact is still contact, so that's a definite pass interference call, and I felt that one was catchable. But the one on Honey Badger was pretty bad because that ball wasn't remotely catchable at all, even though he was holding him. The ball has to be catchable, so that's the way that the rule is established. And another call I wasn't a fan of, although they always call this, is when they have a holding penalty call and the quarterback is clearly throwing to one receiver. And, well, that's just me and NFL rules. How I feel about some of the rules, but it's neither here nor there. Aside from that, the flags killed them, and because of that, become 21-6 at half. From there, the defense took over in the second half. Brady scored that one touchdown in the third, but that defense was hellacious, man. I saw one other stat. I'll leave with this, is that Patrick Mahomes was the most pressured QB in Super Bowl history, and Brady, surprisingly by Steve Spagnuolo, because they called it a great game plan, was pressured the least in NFL history. So at the end of the day, no matter how amazing one QB can be, when there's front four pressure and he gets no protection, no matter if he's Superman, and there were some amazing incompletions, because who knows what could have happened if they were completed, but at the end of the day, any super duper quarterback can be made look average. In the long run, this could be better for Mahomes. I mean, a lot of people think Brady can go back to back, but as Mahomes first real beatdown loss, I think this is good for them. Ironically, the way I see it, it's gonna be super ironic, but maybe I'm a foreseer or something. For Brady's first dynasty, he won his first ring, and then I don't think he lost in the Super Bowl. He might have lost in the playoffs, but it was Oakland and Tampa in 2002, and Tampa was the blip 19 years ago, and then Brady won back-to-back 2003 and 2004, and he won 3 out of 4. So I see a similar trajectory here, where this will be the blip for Mahomes, because that team is still intact, although you could still give it to Brady. The Rams are a threat now that they have a legit quarterback in Stafford, so they're for real. You never know what's going down in Green Bay, and the teams in the AFC can improve as well. But for me right now, I believe the Chiefs will come back with a vengeance for next season. But congrats to Tom Brady. Congrats to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And those are your Super Bowl 55 champions. Brady wins his 5th Super Bowl MVP. You could have gave it to anybody. You could have given it to Fournette. Anybody in the defense. But they cancel each other out. So it is what it is. Dude's a zombie. I may not like it, but he sure is. I mean, I'm not the biggest. Honestly, I have fatigue from the guy. Dude's a zombie. Get somebody else out here. But you gotta give credit where credit is due. Dude's at this point, if you're saying he's not the GOAT, then I mean, talent wise, you could say a bunch of stuff, but based off his accomplishments, there's not much else you can say at this point. That's it. It's a long video because there was so much to unpack in that one game. That's all the time I have for the day, guys. That's my Super Bowl recap. Thanks. Please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm disappointed that the season's over. This was a very entertaining football season. Trying times during COVID. I'm happy the season was able to go off. And it's unfortunate that there wasn't a super competitive Super Bowl, but I thought overall this was a very entertaining season. That's all the time for I have today, guys. Like I said before, please subscribe. Please like the video. I greatly appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.